Skateboarding is just a sport that is based on your ability to manipulate a piece of wood with wheels attached to it mid-air. A sport that is so difficult that most people quit after the first day. A sport that makes other people hate you for practicing it. A sport that built one of the most diverse and influential communities to exist. A sport that changes the world. Skateboarding was popularized in the 80s and 90s, but had its origins decades earlier in the 50s. Originally created by surfers who were bored from a lack of waves, then slowly transformed over time, with bull skating in empty swimming pools, then little tricks that allowed the skateboard to almost jump, called ollies. However, skateboarding as we know it today was built off of the popsicle style skateboard. This shape of the board allowed for more tricks to be done and opened possibilities up for street skating. Suddenly, skateboarding was moved from empty pools to streets and obstacles in the cities. Skateboarding began using stair rails, benches, art pieces, and anything they could get their trucks or tails connected to. The community was very small at this time, due to its lack of popularity for one, but most of all difficulty. Skateboarding was and still is one of, if not the, hardest sports in the world. Falling is inevitable and happens constantly when skateboarding. It happens so often that learning how to fall correctly and not hurt yourself is a necessity in order to learn how to do tricks. Then there is learning how to do tricks. Learning how to kickflip is one of the greatest achievements of a young skateboarder. Skateboarding not only looks hard but is extremely difficult. Learning how to do a very specific motion with both of your feet to flip a piece of wood is, like it sounds, very complicated. Many people quit skateboarding in the early stages of learning due to this difficulty. This has a huge effect on the community of skateboarders. It's a process some call weeding out the weak, and only leaving behind those who are truly committed. Due to this naturally embedded weeding out process, the community is like no other. The community is full of misfits and outcasts to society. Skateboarding is inviting to people of all types due to how fun it looks. However, only the strong and committed survive. Skateboarders live all over the world, with huge communities in places like Japan, Brazil, all over Europe, and the United States, of course. When it comes down to it, the hierarchy of the community is completely determined by how good you are at skateboarding. Pro skateboarders are at the top of the hierarchy. They hardly get paid anything because skate companies are usually very small. Like skateboarders, the companies themselves are generally the misfits of the business world, due to their niche marketing and disinterest in sales towards the masses, and preferences towards art and style. Brands like Baker, Girl, and Bones are examples of companies skateboarders would know of, yet would be unknown to the general public. These companies use skateboarders to advertise their products to the skateboarding community specifically. Once a skateboarder is paid by a company to promote their product, they are considered a pro. These skaters create videos of themselves skateboarding called skate parts, which serve as advertising for the companies while also helping spread the name of the pro. These skate parts are one of many completely original arts created by skateboarders. One of these unique art forms is tricks, which have become their own art form entirely. Like described earlier, it's the action of maneuvering the skateboard with your feet, oftentimes midair or on an obstacle, then landing back on the ground on top of the board. Furthermore, skaters will do multiple tricks one after the other, creating a line. Some other examples are things like street-style clothing, which originally considered cheap and unpopular, was worn by skaters every day due to its utilitarian nature. Protective cargo pants or baggy jeans and heavy t-shirts and sweatshirts protected skaters from asphalt and concrete when falling, mixed oftentimes with unique graphic art and wear and tear. This style grew in popularity in the 90s, then again grew popularity today, where it is completely its own section of the fashion community. Another example is the fisheye lens, used in skate parts in order to get close-up shots while still getting the entire skater and the board in the video. This was then popularized by pop culture and things like rap videos and other types of videography. Society outside of skateboarding has very differentiating views on skateboarding, oftentimes despised by the older generation due to skaters being considered renegades and rebels who break the law and deal out property damage, yet viewed by the younger generation as awesome for being rebels and renegades who stick it to the man or live life freely. Both of these things are true at times, and skaters 9 times out of 10 actually live out these stereotypes. However, out of this, there is a philosophy to life that is quite beautiful. Oftentimes, though scrutinized or praised by others, skaters continue to live the way they do, paying no attention to the constant noise and opinions of others. When it comes to the people inside of the community, there is rarely any real scrutiny or hate. The community is always encouraging each other, and even those on the outside, to live freely. Skateboarders openly choose not to live by the standards set before them and push the limits of social pressures all the time.
If I was still skating, I could do this. This shit ain't nothing really.
Hell yeah.
It really ain't.
Coined by some skaters as skate or die. Skateboarding is, well, it is not just a sport. It's way bigger than any other sport could even fathom being. Skateboarding and its community have created and become something completely unique. From its ability to create completely new communities around clothing and art, to its extremely diverse community and peoples, to creating its own philosophies of skate or die. I believe everyone should try skateboarding in their life so they can truly appreciate the community, what it has achieved, and how it is all based on a piece of wood with wheels.